Are you looking to become a Tier 1 operator in the gaming world? Elevate your games with Black Site Studio Terrain.
Okay, everybody. Hopefully this sounds okay. It might be difficult for Because Science Teacher to give me a sound test because she's actually in the meeting right now. So, anyone in the chat, Skoback, if you could tell us if I sound okay, especially compared to the music, if I'm not too loud compared to the music, or the music not too loud compared to me. And then also, Jen, can you give us a sound test, please?
Hello?
All right, might need a few more words than that, Jen.
A few more words than hello? I think I can arrange that.
All right, cool. Sounds like we're all good to go. So, let's get ready to kick this pig, as they say.
That's not very nice to the pig.
No, it's not nice to the pig. I'm not worried about the pig. Hashtag pig, yeah, pork lives matter too. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sitrep Podcast. We're going to try a different kind of game today. We've done AirWar C21 in the past. We've used it for our Falklands series back during the Falklands Op Centers episode. We've also done it for Vietnam. With all the Team Yankee talk that's been going on in the community lately, I thought that we would try some hypothetical 1980s combat over Germany in 1985. So, everyone knows, in the general sense, how Team Yankee works. The General Sir John Hackett novel, followed by, of course, the Harold Coyle novel, where we have Soviets and their allies in the Warsaw Pact invading into Western Germany. And everyone talks about all the tanks and all the artillery pieces and the infantry and the anti-tank missiles and blah, 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 blah. None of that shit matters a damn until we figure out who has air superiority. If I have to see one more gaming table with helicopters on both sides, or one more game with both Su-25s and A-10 Warthogs on the same table, it's gonna, I'm gonna flip the table. That's not how war works. You're gonna have the fighter forces of both sides establish either air superiority, or hopefully for one side or the other, air supremacy, and those are two different things. But at least air superiority, or air dominance. To where one side controls the sky. Only then do you commit your ground attack elements, your helicopters, your A-10s, your Frogfoot ground attack aircraft, things like that. Because those kinds of aircraft, as cool as they might be, everyone loves Cobras, everyone loves Apaches, everyone loves Warthogs, those guys get slaughtered when they come up against MiG-29s or Su-27s. So it's up to planes like the F-16 Falcon and the F-15 Strike Eagle, or technically the F-15 Eagle, to win dominance of the air first before you can actually, commit those kind of assets onto your battlefield. So, long story short, what we're going to do here is take a look at that part of what a Team Yankee war would have looked like, and we're going to use the AirWar C21 combat system to do it. So, AirWar C21, like I said, we've talked about it in previous series. It's a relatively light, but still somewhat detailed air combat system that's meant mostly for modern air combat. The game kind of started with ultra modern air combat, like 2015, 2012, 2020, like near future stuff. I mean, it's like up to the minute. JSF-35s, the new Sukhoi's Su-30s, the top of the line Chinese stuff. 5 minutes into the future kind of air war. And then since then, they've been kind of marching steadily backwards in time. I think there's even a 1918 version out now, if you want to do biplanes. But like I said, we've used it in Falklands, we've used it in Vietnam, and today we're going to try it in the mid-80s. So, here we have our show for the day, so to speak. Get that to where it fits better on the screen a little bit. Okay, so Harold Coyle famously wrote Team Yankee, the novel, in the late 80s. He did not create his own universe, so to speak, his own setting. He borrowed from Sir John Hackett, General Sir John Hackett, former commando of NATO ground forces, I think it was. NATO Chief of Staff, NATO Commander, NATO He was the guy in charge of NATO in the late 70s. To put not too fine a point on it, or at least one of the guys in charge of NATO back in the 70s. And he wrote this novel of how he thought that war might happen in the mid-1980s. So it's August 1985 is the date that is chosen. And of course, when when Harold Coyle writes Team Yankee, his novel, he uses the same setting. It's pretty much a smaller story set within the John Hackett universe, so to speak. So again, our date is August 1985. This is relevant to our game because it determines what kind of missiles and what kind of planes I can use in our setting to make it jive, so to speak, with the Hackett-Harold, I'll call it, cinematic universe or novel universe. So what we're going to have today, again, over southern Germany, we are going to have two F-16C Block 25s. That's pretty much like the manufacturing, stage or whatever. But the important part is F-16C. The F-16 Fighting Falcon, that's this aircraft we see right here. All right. These were, built by General Dynamics in the late 1970s. They started to roll it in the early 80s. This version came out in 1984. It's got two AIM-9, that should say AIM-9M. Two AIM-9M Sidewinders. One on each wingtip. That's this missile you see right here. Right there on the wingtips. And then two four AIM-7M Sparrow 3s. You can't quite see those in this photograph. Those are your medium-range air-to-air missiles. They're pretty much just bulked-up versions of the Sparrows and the Sidewinders we were throwing at each other back in our Falklands games. These are even more accurate, even more deadly. These are the ones the Americans kept for themselves, and again, it's a couple years later. Specifically, these are with 316th, 86th Tactical Fighter Wing of the 512th Tactical Fighter Squadron. Sorry, it will be the Squadron first. The smallest unit's the Squadron. 512th Tactical Fighter Squadron, 86th Fighter Wing, 316th Air Division, based out of Ramstein Air Force Base in southern part of West Germany. These guys would have been on the front line. I don't know if these are the actual markings. I don't think that squadron marking is for that particular squadron. But I basically looked up what 1985 Tactical Fighter Wing Squadron would look like in 1985 in the southern part of West Germany, and this is one of the first things I came up with. I'm going to be up against two MiG-29 Fulcrum A's. These are the very first Fulcrums that came out. MiG-29 is a little bit of a more modern aircraft. This is the one that we see over here. It was pretty much the Soviet Union's answer to the F-16. So in the late 1970s, going into the 1980s, the Americans had two mainline fighters for most of their tactical fighter wings, most of their tactical strike wings, things like that. F-16 Falcon, that's the small, one-engined, single tailplane that you see, like I said, in that photograph over there on the left. And then the F-15 Eagle and F-15E Strike Eagle. One of the largest fighters ever built, one of the fastest fighters ever built. Huge two-engine fighter, two-tail fighters, absolutely monstrous, very, very fast, at least in a straight line, extremely powerful, very expensive. One of the largest fighters ever built, in point of fact. And the Soviet answer to that was the Sukhoi 27 flanker. And because these were Soviet answers to these two American types, they came out like 5 to 10 years later. So again, the classic 1980s matchups, you've got two of them in air-to-air combat. I don't know if you're ever going to get into this kind of stuff in a Team Yankee type of setting, but we're talking about the F-16 versus MiG-29. These are the smaller, lighter fighters. And then if you want to go to the heavyweight division, you're talking about F-15 Eagles versus Sukhoi 27 flankers. But so today we're starting with the little guys. Again, just two F-16s versus two MiG-29s. The MiG-29s are carrying AA-10 Alamos and AA-11 Archers. These are some of the very earliest versions of those two missiles. Alamo and Archer, again, are the American, or I should say the NATO names for that. It's really the R-27T and the R-73. Most of the names that you might think you know for Soviet equipment, Hind gunship, Fulcrum fighter, Flanker fighter, even T-80 tank, those are not the actual names. Those are what NATO slapped on them as call signs or code names. the names for these Soviet pieces of equipment, they actually have Soviet names, and they have nothing to do with the NATO names. For most games, however, they stick with the NATO names because that's what most people are familiar with. So again, we're calling these MiG-29 Fulcrums. Again, that's not really their name. And we're calling the missiles the Alamo and the Archer, although again, that's not really their name. But they'll do for today's episode. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, it's been a while since we've played AirWar C21, so we are going to keep it kind of light and simple, at least our first time around. We have our 2 American F-16s down here in the southwest. And then way up here, the other side of the map, we have 2 MiG-29s of a fighter aviation regiment group of Soviet forces in Germany. These guys were based out of numerous bases in East Germany. These guys in particular were, 773rd Fighter Aviation Regiment out of Merseburg, West Germany. Guards Fighter Aviation Division, so these guys are pretty badass. Alright, so enough of the preamble, rambling, so to speak. We have myself, Oriskany, playing the Americans. I did not pick that. And we have Glades Runner, or Jennifer, playing the Russians, because that's what she picked. Is that correct, or am I telling a fib there, Jen? What do you say?
Nope, I decided I wanted to play the Russians.
Is there a reason you wanted to play the Russians?
Well, I was thinking that they would be small, fast planes, because I was thinking of the older MiGs. I didn't realize they'd be big.
Well, MiG-29s are slightly bigger than F-16s, but they're smaller than a Sukhoi 27. So they're small-ish. These planes are actually a little bit faster than the F-16. They carry a lot less, but they are slightly bigger. They are twin-engine planes, twin-engine, twin-tail planes. But the engines are a little bit smaller, and of course, the weight of the plane goes up.
With the twin engine and the twin tail, are they more maneuverable?
Actually, they have the same maneuvering thrusters. So one of the things you're going to find on YouTube a lot, just go to YouTube, type MiG-29 air show, and you're going to see, trust me, it's one of the most beautiful planes ever built. You can see why it's in 1,000,001 air shows. Never mind how good it is in combat. This isn't even that great of a picture of it. But I'm sorry, a MiG-29 is just aesthetically one of the most gorgeous warplanes ever built.
I was going to say it was pretty, but I didn't want to sound like a girl.
You wouldn't be wrong. It's a gorgeous plane, and its maneuverability. This is why it's so popular at air shows. Its maneuverability is insane. Then again, so is the F-16, but the F-16 is like half the weight. But you bring up a good point. For game purposes, both of these planes have a 5 minimum speed. That's their stall speed. You go slower than 5, you're going to fall out of the sky. So don't try not to do that. Maximum speed is 26. That's about Mach 2. Again, point of speed in this game is roughly 50 knots. So we're talking about 1,300 miles per hour, roughly. And their power is high, so that's going to affect some of the maneuverability ratings that we do for special maneuvers. And their maneuver class for just the regular turning wheel without having to use special maneuvers is extreme. So this game has low, medium, high, and extreme. They're both extreme. And anyone who watches an F-16 or a MiG-29 at an air show will know what you're talking about. So these things can turn just as hard, if not harder, than Harriers. Even though they're not VTOL aircraft. They can also do Mach 2. They're true air superiority supersonic fighters. These guys would have been at the front, the leading tip of the spear of what would have happened if, God forbid, NATO and Warsaw Pact really had come to blows in Germany in the mid-1980s.
My laptop's getting a little warm. I'm going to put on a fan. Let me know if it's too loud.
Okay. Hello, Sitrep Podcast.
Cooling fan.
Alrighty, are you all set up over there, or are you still having...
1 second.
Right.
I can hear. Plug in. Piece of poo. There we go.
But your cooling pad underneath your laptop, that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I thought you meant like
okay?
an actual...
Can you hear it
No, I just said it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
You made it sound like you were going to put on like a desk fan or something.
Oh, no.
Okay, no worries.
It's on and plugged in.
All right, so again, we're keeping this one ridiculously simple, everybody. Hello, Sitrep podcast. Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out. We have two F-16s versus two MiG-29s somewhere over West Germany, over the Fulda Gap. So there's Nuremberg. Actually, the Fulda Gap isn't technically on this map. There's the Intra-German border. This line right here. Oops, god damn it, OBS. It really annoys me when you do that. So there's Würzburg. Würzburg is one, and there's Nuremberg. They pronounce it Nuremberg. These are two of the main cities that kind of lead into the Fulda Gap. The Fulda Gap sort of leads southwest this way towards Frankfurt am Main, if I'm saying that right, Amman. My German is not what it used to be. I apologize. This was one of the big breakthrough zones that people were worried about back in the mid-1980s for the classic, Team Yankee kind of thing. So again, air dominance over this part of the battlefield would have been paramount. This is what decides whether or not you're going to see any Cobras, Apaches, or A-10 Warthogs over the battlefield. If the Americans lose this battle, you won't be seeing any of that, because they wouldn't last 5 minutes. Not with flankers and fulcrums in the air. God knows what else. Okay, so unless we have any more questions, Jenna, all set?
Yep, I would appreciate any advice from the chat so I don't get my butt kicked too badly.
Alright, so here's the turn sequence that we might remember from our Vietnam and Falkland games. So we, apply our beginning speed, whether or not we want to accelerate or decelerate. We decide any maneuver cards that we may want to do. Again, we don't have cards because we're not doing this over a physical table, so we're just going to have to kind of use the honor system. We roll initiative, and then we go ahead and we start moving. If we declared any maneuvers, we try to execute those maneuvers, and we make the roll for that, and if we fail or succeed, certain things happen. And then we are going to resolve any missiles that were fired last phase. We're going to launch new missiles, assess any damage, and then speed segment. Again, this is where you have to make sure that you're not going too fast. You try to recover from any stalls and things like that. I'm sure it will come back to us as we start playing. This is another reason I wanted to sort of keep this one kind of simple. All right, so again, you're coming in out of the northeast up there. I'm coming in from the southwest. Let me see here. Apply speed changes. Okay. Well, first we have to sort of declare what our initial speed is. So I'm going to be coming in at 20 because why not? Oh, I'm putting stuff in your column. Sorry about that. Call that 16. All right. So how fast are you coming in at?
See, 12. My highest was what, 26? You said?
Was between 5 and 26. Yeah, basically Mach 2.
Okay. I'll go in at 20.
All right. Okay, we now go to quote-unquote place maneuver cards. Again, this is if you're playing a physical game. So you don't have to tell me, but I am writing down on a small card here, especially if I can find my card, whether or not I'm taking any maneuvers.
No maneuvers.
You didn't have to tell me that.
I know. We're not near enough for them to be worth it.
That's probably true, in all honesty. All right, cool. Then in that case, we're going to go ahead and roll initiative. So, let me turn on Mr. Webcam here. All right, here we go. D10, we're all good pilots, so no modifiers for initiative. I roll an 8 and a 2.
I roll a 10 and a 5.
Okay. These planes, I should also mention, carry plenty of... Well, we already talked about what missiles they carry. They carry plenty of missiles. They also carry 8. I looked this up a couple times. 8 chaff and 8 flares. So these are not the, pound sail planes that we saw, over the Falklands. These guys are serious. Again, top of the line for both sides. Plenty of electronics, good pilots. U.S. Air Force Tactical Fighter Wing versus, Guards, Fighter Aviation Regiments, group of Soviet forces in Germany. Neither side here is kind of playing around. So we have plenty of, long story short, we have plenty of flares and plenty of chaff. Okay, I believe I had the lowest initiative with 2, so I will move Fighting Falcon number 2. He's moving at 16. Again, the blue dot in the center of the plane marks its location. Okay, and now I think the next one is you. Test for maneuvers. Okay, no one declared any maneuvers. Check for tailing. No half move, turn, half. Okay, I'm not doing any turns. Okay, Jen, your turn to move Fulcrum number 2, which roll a 5. So this guy, you already know where he is.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, I remember in some of the planes, you could only target if you were behind them.
Good question. That's the electronics of the missiles. So if we go back to our data sheet, we will see that both the 9M Sidewinders short-range air-to-air missile and the AIM-7 Sparrow 3 medium-range air-to-air missile are either infrared or semi-active radar homing missiles, and they both have target aspect ratio of all. Same with the AA-10s and the AA-11s. Again, everyone in this game is high-tech. In that Falklands game, and especially in the Vietnam game, we were playing with some serious, like 1960s era, stuff. Those Mirages were terrible. Those MiG-17s were terrible. Even those Phantoms in the Vietnam game weren't the best. They were 1960s planes. This is mid-1980s planes. You can shoot from any direction. But those are the ranges. 5 and 22 inches. These do have minimum ranges. So you have medium-range missiles and short-range missiles. 4 to 24 and 7 to 24. Which seems weird, but 24. Those were the numbers I was given.
7 to 24. So that means if I'm closer than 7 for one missile and 4 for the other, I can't fire it.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's when you do the whole Top Gun line where you say, I'm too close for missiles, I'm switching to guns.
Alright, then just move me pretty much. I like the angle. Head me right towards you guys.
Alright, that was easy. So there's 20, because you're moving at 20. We're talking about MiG number 2.
Yep.
Again, blue dot. The piece is built where it will rotate on the blue dot. Alright, there is MiG number 2. Now I put in F-16 number 1. Roger ice. I'm on your left side, a little low. Alright. I'm just going to take a quick moment to find my turning wheel. And use my turning wheel to check for missile arc. Let me zoom in a little bit so I can get a precise measurement. So missile arc, again, is this 30 degrees on each side. So missile arc goes out to these two M's that we see here. As you can see, this plane, MiG number 1, that should be MiG number 2, sorry. Not that
it's within that arc.
Super matters, but I did technically move the wrong plane. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, it's within that arc, so I wanted to make sure that I moved that direction. And again, vice versa. Technology for these planes that we have here is sufficiently advanced. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with missiles. It's going to be, it's going to be about hitting through each other's electronic countermeasures. Missiles might wind up being useless, and that's where it's kind of come down to guns. It might come down to guns. I haven't play tested with these, all this electronic warfare and all this chaff and all these flares, but these planes, all 4 of them, do have pretty significant electronic defense as well as target acquisition systems. Okay, last but not least, MiG number 1 with his 10.
Buddy him up
Above or
with
below?
his wingman. Below.
So something like that.
Perfect.
All right. So, no one wanted to do any moves or turns. Half move turn. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no one wanted to do any turns or anything. Okay, fire 7. Resolve missiles fired last phase. There was no one firing missiles last phase. We will now try to launch new missiles. Okay, now, here's where we come into missiles. So I'll go first. It's all simultaneous in game terms, but just so that we kind of keep the stream going here. Okay, I have a choice, everybody, between each one of my planes carries some Sidewinders, I think 2, yeah, 1 on each wing, short-range air-to-air missiles, or medium-range Sparrows, which have a range up to 42 inches. In order for me to lock on with my... Okay, so the Sidewinder is infrared guided. It has a lock number, and that's its lock number, and you try to lock on with that number. The 3+ right there. The Sparrow, its lock number depends on the plane that it's carried in, or that's carried on, because it uses the plane's onboard radar to actually lock on. So I have to look at what the radar on my F-16 is, which is 3+. So I got to roll 3 up on a D10 to try to lock on with somebody. Now, I don't remember if there is a penalty for that. Condition, additional damage. I'm hoping I'm not missing any charts here. That's for guns. That's for guns. This is for missiles. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I feel like I'm missing something here. That chart that I was just looking at is the penalties and bonuses for when the missile hits. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything about when the missile lock modifiers. Boom, I thought so. Target is a low altitude, target's ECM rating. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let me just take a quick picture of that. And add that to my little book here. This was the chart I wasn't sure if I had. I'll pretty that up later, but for now, okay, cool. So I will say no one's at low altitude. Target ECM rating. I don't know if you have an ECM rating. Let me see here. That would be back on data page. No one's got an ECM rating. Okay, cool. So those chaffs and flares are what happens when you actually launch the missile. Or when the missile's actually going to make its attack to actually hit the plane. Missile locks. Okay, angle of attack means it's more important when it actually comes to missile aspect, target, arc, and limitations. Okay, cool. Sorry. Just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything super egregious. The angle that the missile hits the plane is different than the angle that... Okay, I got it. Sorry. Alright, so each one of my F-16s are going to try and fire off one of our Sparrows. Because my Sparrows are in range, I'm pretty damn sure. Um, 42 inches. I'm within 42 inches there. So, yep, we're cooking off one Sparrow each, if I manage to lock. So let me turn on Mr. Webcam. Each plane, it's what do I say it was? 3+ for the radar of the 3+ is the radar for the F-16.
Choke.
Choke. All right, here we go. 3+.
No lock. No lock.
Do it. 8 and 8. We both made it. All right, 2 Sparrows are off the rails. Now they were fired.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, they're fired from the front, which is not good. There is going to be a penalty for them to hit. The game doesn't get super crazy with what's the word here? The game doesn't get super crazy with tracking the missile's movement or whatever. It's whatever angle you happen to fire the missile at is assumed to be the angle that it's going to hit the plane, which isn't terribly realistic, but because in a real dogfight, these planes would be turning and whatever, dogfighting, and then the missiles next turn would turn around behind the plane and try to hit the plane that way. That's not really what's going to happen here. It's going to just try to attack the plane from the angle at which it's been fired from. So there will be some penalties to hit you, plus I'm assuming you're going to be launching either flares or chaff, depending whether I fired infrared or semi-active radar homing missiles at you, and then that's when you deploy those countermeasures, and then that'll further makes my role even more difficult, and then we'll see what happens. Okay,
and
so
then I also get to maneuver, right?
That's next turn. Yeah.
Okay.
And what maneuvers you do affects what you can shoot back at me. You can't launch certain missiles at the same turn that you do certain maneuvers because the missiles will fall off the plane.
Makes sense.
But we're closer than we thought. We're already within 24 inches, so I'm pretty sure you're within range. I may have made this map too small. Okay, so those are my 2 missiles fired.
That's okay.
Okay.
You said you wanted it to be a quick game. It might actually be a quick game.
With these weapons, it might be a quick game. Okay, so you have AA-10s and AA-11s. Archers and Alamos for your air-to-air missiles.
Okay.
You're within 24 inches. I don't know what the point of the 2 different types is. Oh, they have different damage codes. So you have big missiles and little missiles. The big missiles are less accurate, is what I'm noticing. But they have roughly the same range. I have a funny feeling those AA-11s were replacing those AA-10s. But,
okay.
So basically, this is where you pick. According to my information, they're both infrared, and they both have a 3+ to lock.
4+, isn't it?
I'm looking at lock 3+.
Oh, okay. I was thinking because the other one had to go by radar. Mine don't have to go by radar.
No, because they're infrared. Infrared missiles. The missile itself has its own sensor.
Okay.
It's a heat seeker.
So then I would like to fire the bigger missiles.
Okay, you are in range. Those are going to be your AA-10 Alamos. Poof, they launch. If you can get locks. Your locks are 3+.
If I can get locks. 3+?
On D10s.
Let's see. 3+. 2 D10s. 3+. Let's roll some hot pink dice. Just for color. And I got an 8 and a 5.
Okay, so that is 2 hits, or not 2 hits, but two successful locks. And once you get a lock, you get to go ahead and fire. I wonder if I wrote down those ranges wrong. It's weird to me that both of those Russian missile types have the exact same maximum range. That might be an error in my translation, or an error in the game, or maybe it's an error in the missile. They are Russian after all. Okay.
Well, the maximum range, not that big a deal at this moment because we're within, you know what I mean?
Yep. They both have the same maximum range, yeah. Like I said, I think those AA-11s are just more advanced. Or they're just more accurate. They just don't do nearly as much damage. Okay, so 2 missiles are coming back at me. Alright. Go back to the turn sequence here. Launch new missiles, resolve air-to-air gun attacks that aren't any, no ground fire, no strafing attacks, assess damage. Speed segment, attempt stall recovery. No one's in a stall. No one's doing excess speeds. No one is going to have any... None of us are carrying bombs. So no one's ordnance is going to fall off the plane. Okay. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and apply speed changes. Alright. Do I want to apply any speed changes? I can accelerate by... 3, decelerate by 3. You can accelerate by 4 or decelerate by 3. Those twin engines on that MiG-29 are give it just a little bit more kick. Oh, sorry. Here's the. I'm sorry. My bad. There's the deceleration. Deceleration is -4 for both of us. Sorry, I wasn't reading the chart correctly. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
After you decide, can you put up the maneuver cards? Because I'm trying to look at the penalties and costs for when you fail and succeed.
There they are.
Okay. These are the things that unfortunately I'm not.
Well, here's the somewhat good news. And I'm not saying this to tell you what to do or encourage or discourage any course of action, but with planes this maneuverable, these special maneuverabilities, these special maneuvers are going to matter, I think, a little bit less.
I'm just trying to see speed reduced or increased by to make sure I'm within a safety margin for my plane. Increased by 6.
So you're basically telegraphing that you are that you're going to go ahead and take a special maneuver car. Is what you're telling me.
I'm just being well informed.
Did I guess correctly?
I'm just being well informed.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, there they are. Don't tell me which one you're looking at, but...
I know.
Okay.
I'm just looking at... Okay.
So, I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing into... decelerate a little bit to 12. Okay, how about you?
I'm going to decelerate down to 16.
Okay. Alright, I am currently writing down whether or not I'm doing any special maneuvers. Okay, I got it. Have you decided whether or not you're doing any special maneuvers?
Yes, I am, but I haven't decided which one. Can I have it back up for a minute? Sorry. So if I'm thinking of maneuver that says I can't use weapons, that means I can't use weapons the turn I make the special maneuver. But a previous launched weapon is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Yep.
Cool, initiative time. My 2 dice, webcam, 9 and 5.
9 and 5.
Yep. Did you roll? Okay.
That's what I got too.
Oh, okay, let's go ahead and re-roll.
So I'm re-rolling. Alright, I'll call first.
4 and 8.
5 and 8.
Re-roll the 8s. You said 5 and 8?
8. Yeah. I got an 8 again, so 5 and 8.
Oh, god damn it, machine. Really? So frustrating. How did you know that's what I wanted, machine? Really? How did you know that? This weekend hasn't been terrible enough. Okay, looks like 4 has to go first. That would be my Falcon number 1. Currently moving at 12. So you move. I'm declaring no special maneuvers.
Okay.
So I'm moving. Half of my movement is 6. Boom. That's 6 inches on my little magic turning wheel. Recenter my turning wheel. I can turn out to extreme. Holy crap. I don't want to turn that much. I want to turn that much. Move my other 6 inches. Recenter my turn wheel. Realign my turn wheel. That is so not aligned. Not that it really matters, but just so that we're doing it right. There we go. And now you can turn all the way out to that. Oh, I thought I was doing that wrong. Okay, E for extreme. I was doing it too much. That EBT is extreme brake turn. I thought that was too much, but that's still enough. He's basically trying a gradual S turn, and he's trying to point his nose back, onto the table. All right. That is it for Fighting Falcon number 1. Although, of course, I moved the wrong one because I hate my life. And I wonder why I do this every day. Alright. Fighting Falcon number 1. It's not frustrating at all. Okay, number 4. Now we go to your Falcon number 1, which was the next poorest initiative with a 5. Any special maneuvers you declared?
Yep, barrel roll with a turn.
Barrel roll with a turn. Alright, let's take a look at that special maneuver card and see what we're talking about. Aircraft moves half distance at 60 degrees to its flight path and may make a 60-degree inward turn after the movement. Speed is reduced by 4. No change in direction. Gives a bonus against incoming fire. Okay, so you move half your distance at a 60-degree glide either way, but you don't change direction. That's basically you doing the barrel roll. Okay, so you can barrel roll left or right. After that, whichever way you turn, you can make a 60-degree turn inward from that. So,
okay.
We're talking about number 1, which we are.
Yeah.
Your speed is 16. You're going to move 8.
Yeah.
Let me get this lined up a little bit better. Boom. Okay, now as you move forward, you know what, let me use the wheel for this after all. The wheel of pain. Alright,
break a deal, face the wheel.
Oh my god. See, I referenced a good movie, you referenced a terrible movie. So I might lose the game, but I've already lost the movie reference game. Okay, so you move 8 inches, but you can sort of slipstream either left or right at this time.
I'm going to slipstream left.
Left, so south.
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. The full 60 degrees?
Yep.
Alright, that's 6 inches. And then I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. 7, 8. Okay, now you're allowed... Well, actually, hold on. You forgot one very important part. You have to make that roll.
I have to make the roll. I was just going to let it go.
Yeah, you were just gonna...
I wasn't going to argue with you.
Yeah, I bet you were. That's Game Master Jim right there, doing his best. Okay, so it's a D10. You have to get 6 or better. However, you're considered a good pilot. We're always good pilots because it makes the game go a little bit smoother. So basically, that target number reduces to a 5. So you have to roll 5 or ahead, or 5 or more, on a D10.
I rolled exactly a 5.
You barely made it. The plane was you got a few stall warnings lighting up on your canopy there. Okay, so where were we? You're gonna go down the 60 degrees. That's again 6 inches. That wheel is measured for 6 inches, everybody. And then I'm just gonna the last 2 inches. I'm just kind of. You'll notice that the wheel's hash marks are scaled to the hash marks on the map, so that's how I'm able to make that adjustment. Alright, so that's you coming out of your barrel roll. You're allowed to turn up to 60 degrees inward, in other words, back to the north, if you want.
And can I go the rest of my maneuver?
No.
The rest of my distance?
No. That's not what the card says. You spent half of your movement going up and down. That's a barrel roll.
Okay. I misunderstood. I didn't read the fine print.
So you can basically turn west and north by up to 60 degrees, if you want.
No, I picked the wrong maneuver.
The wrong maneuver.
I picked the wrong maneuver.
Well, here's the good news. Because you made the roll, you don't have to do that 60-degree turn. You still have control of your aircraft.
I'm gonna keep the direction it's in.
Okay.
So I did the barrel roll, just didn't do the turn part of the barrel roll.
Aircraft moves half distance at 60 degrees and may make a 60-degree inward. Speed is reduced by 4. No change in direction. Gives bonus against incoming fire. Yeah. Oh, there you go. I should. You know what? Let me go ahead and do that. When that missile hits you or tries to hit you, it does give me a penalty. So that was a barrel roll and turn. My spiffy new maneuver tiles there. What do you think of that? Yeah.
Look at the fancy tiles.
It took me all day to find that hammer and sickle on Google Images. Alrighty. Cool. Now we go to Fighting Falcon number 2. Fighting Falcon number 2 says, "Oh no, you didn't. You tried to do all that fancy stuff." Fighting Falcon number 2 declared no special maneuvers. I remember my Argentinians loved the Immelman. It was like my only chance. Yep. My only chance against the maneuverability of the Harrier. I was flying a Mirage. It's basically a bottle rocket with wings. I mean, it's really fast. It's just not very maneuverable. Okay, so there's my 6. No worries there. Thank you, OBS. Can always count on you to ruin my day. Alright, now I can make up to an E level turn. I don't think I will. He's just coming straight at you. We're head to head. I can't believe we're doing this. So if you're doing 16 and I'm doing 12, anytime you want to work, computer, I'd really appreciate it. 16 and I'm doing 12 times 50. Yeah, we have 1,400 knots closure. We're coming at each other at a combined speed of 1,400 miles. Well, 1,400 knots. That's more than 1,400 miles an hour. That's like 1,600 miles an hour. It's getting pretty hairy already. Okay, cool. And now we do MiG number 29. MiG 29 number 1. Who rolled the best initiative? Did you declare any special maneuvers?
Yes, I did.
Okay, which one?
I did the same one, the barrel roll with turn.
Yay! Okay, make your roll. 5 up.
5 up. Come on. Come on. 5. Damn, they're not very good.
Barely made it. All right. I was
hoping
to play
Immelmans might be out of the picture.
My Price is Right fail theme there, but all right, no worries.
I'm sure I'll fail something when it's important.
Okay, we are lined up on the turning wheel. Oops, I went too far. Okay, you can slipstream up to 60 degrees north or south as you make your 8 inches of movement. You want to go north or south?
I'm going to go south.
All right.
But I don't think I'm going to go quite the same. I think I'm going to go one further north. Yeah, that one.
So kind of like that. All right, you come out of the barrel roll. You're down 4 more inches of speed, which I have to track on my little chart here in just a second. Okay, and then are you turning? You're to make the turn. You're going to turn either west and north, 60 degrees, or are you happy with your current heading?
I think I'm happy right now. See, I was counting when I pictured it in my head. I was counting on going the 8 past him and then turning up once I passed him.
No, you actually barrel roll. That's what a barrel roll is. You either gain or lose depending on whether you barrel roll up or down. It's almost always up.
Yeah.
And that's half your movement is coming up, going up, rolling on your back, and then corkscrewing back down. That's also where you lose
speed.
A little bit of speed. So now we're all doing 12. Okay, so that's it for test for maneuvers, check for tailing, half move, turn. We did all that. Resolve missiles last phase. We resolved the missiles fired last phase. Okay,
Okey
so
dokey.
I have 2 Sparrows. Okay, coming up, make number 1. Okay, those are AMRAAMs. I'm sorry, those are semi-active radar homing missiles. Those are radar guided missiles. So to defeat those, you would try to roll, or you would fire chaff. So I just want to ask.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, let me go ahead and write. You would fire off 1 chaff per missile. I'm assuming you want to do that.
Yes, please.
Okay. You are limited to 8. I said. So now you fire 2 because you've got 2 missiles coming at you. I looked it up in the rules. You can fire 1 chaff per missile. You will run out eventually, but just otherwise. All right, cool. Now, whether or not they hit or not, let's find out. Here's where some of those penalties apply. Infrared missile fired from the front. No. Semi-active radar homing missile fired from target front. Yes, that's -1. Fired from long range. Head on at 024 beyond normal. Oh, never mind. Launch from inside minimum range, no. Launch without a lock, no. Did a successful brake turn or VIF, no. Split S, barrel roll and turn, yes. Okay, so this rule applies. That's another -2. Did a successful barrel roll, no. Target dropped chaff versus semi-active radar homing missile, -1. So that's 1, 2, and 1. That's a total of 4 penalties against my missile coming in. My missile started off at I think a 2+ data. These missiles start at a 2+. No, these are the Sparrows. Sorry, the Sparrows start at a 5+. Oh god. Okay, 5+. I have to add 4 to that. Now I have to roll a 9+. I get 2 chances. Oh no. I'm probably not gonna hit with my missiles. All right.
If you do, you have to honor and go, yes, get in, have it.
Yeah. Poor Damon. Okay, all right, here we go. I have to roll a 9. Oh, OBS. Have I mentioned I love you today? I gotta figure out how to make it stop do that. How about I just stop using OBS? All right, here we go. 9+. That is a 6 and a 7. Those are both misses. So that is no joy on those first 2 missiles.
Oh, he got to use his sound machine. Too bad it was against him.
That's all right. I have many more silliness to use. All right. So those 2 missed.
Okay.
Good news, yours are going to miss as well. All right, which one were you? You should have declared this, but you didn't. So declare it now. Which one were you firing at with these 2? These 2 medium range missiles. Number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
All right, cool. Here they come.
Number 1.
You fired them against my front.
Yep.
Ugh.
So that was -1.
Data. These are. Hold on. Ooh. These are the AA-10s. They hit on a 5+. This is all going to be the same. This is all going to be the same nonsense. Same basic number, 5+. Fired from target front. I'm dropping 2 chaff, and I am.
You didn't do any special maneuver.
I did not do
so
any
it'd be a
special
7
maneuver.
up.
Yes, thank you. It is not the same. Correct. I apologize. All right, so
That's
you have 2
okay.
chances at a 7+.
2 chances at a 7. I got a 4 and an 8.
Oh no! 1 missile has hit. That's not good.
Just
All right.
1. Just
Damage.
1.
Just 1. Missile damage is 2d6.
You want me to roll it or you roll it?
It's your missile. Why would I roll it?
I don't know. Because you got the camera.
Go for it. quickly.
All right, 5 and 3.
5 and 3 is 8 total damage. That F-16 only has 6 in damage. That's one F-16 blown out of the sky. Hooray for Jen! Yeah, and by the way, screw you too.
Do you have the Russian national anthem queued up there?
Yeah, there you go. I should play that.
Actually, in this case, it would be the Soviet national anthem.
Same song. All right, good news. We're gonna have a short.
There you go, Skoback. I did that barrel roll you were talking about.
All right, everybody. Oh yes. All right. Where's my turn sequence? Launch 2 missiles, assess damage. I mean, yeah, you already shot down the plane, so I'm not worried about additional D10s, golden BBs, or whatever. No one's in a stall. No one's at excess speed. No one's dropping any ordnance or anything. All right, cool. That concludes the end of that turn.
And we can't launch. I don't remember if this is one of the maneuvers that I couldn't launch new weapons because of it.
Ironically, I don't think it says there in the, because the book is not perfect.
Okay.
Missile locks. Okay, launching an AAM. Announce intention to fire in the launch new missiles phase. In order to fire, missile must be within the front. Yep. Radar-guided missiles are either semi-active radar homing or active radar homing. If you're firing an SA, a semi-active radar homing missile cannot perform any special maneuver during the phase the missile is in flight, other than a barrel roll and turn or brake turn. So it was legal.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. In addition, an aircraft that has launched any SA or H missile, which this does apply. No, your missiles are infrared, so never mind.
Okay.
All right. That was me just not paying attention. I should have done a brake. I mean, that happens even in Top Gun. The guy launches a missile. Brake left, brake right. That's literally why they do that, to avoid that from happening. If I had done a brake, that 8 would have missed. That would have saved my life.
Yep, it would have.
All right.
The brake would have absolutely.
Oh boy. Oh, technically, eject is a 3+ plus any over damage. I'm over damaged by 2, so my not that it really matters, but my eject is a 5+ to successfully eject. I roll a 10. He punches out. He will live to fight another day. Give me another plane, boss. Let me at him. All right, cool. So here we go again with another quick initiative phase. I only have one plane left, so actually let's stick to the turn sequence. Apply speed changes. Pretty sure I'm happy where I am. How about you?
I think I'm gonna go up to 16. Oof.
Place maneuver cards. Am I declaring any special maneuvers? No. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say. Hold on. Let me take a look. Also, you take a look. Are you declaring any special maneuvers? Don't tell me, but here's your chance to take a look.
Give me just a minute. Okay, I'm all set.
Alright. Initiative time.
I rolled an 8 and a 1.
Roll the 1 over again, please.
5.
Okay, I rolled a 7 on my 1 reroll. So, basically, Falcon fucking 1 is shot down, so never mind about that. This guy is... I'm going to do this differently here, because this initiative field is pissing me off. 1, 2... Oh my god, dude. 2 means 2 January now.
But 1 doesn't mean 1 January.
When I walk out into traffic and just take the quick fucking way out, this is going to be because of something like this. Six hours preparing for this stream today wasn't enough. Fuck you two. Alright, those are the order that we're moving in. The Fulcrum number 1 is moving first. This no longer applies. Okay, so first of all, are we taking any special maneuvers?
No.
Okay, cool. So your new speed is 16. You move forward 8. Okay, you can now turn up to the extreme left or right, or you don't have to if you don't want to. You're allowed to turn up to
I would like to turn right.
Okay, is that north or south? You want to turn
north.
Right? So that's north. All the way?
Extreme north.
Okay, move another 8. That's your full 16 inches. Now you can make another turn, but you're going to stay where you are. Why is the webcam showing? Alright, any more turns?
Yes. To extreme.
Yeah, I know extreme. Which way?
To the right. North.
Yes.
Clockwise.
Alright. Fighting Falcon number 2 is declaring the extreme, I'm sorry, not the extreme, a break turn. So high-powered aircraft, that is a 5+, becomes a 4+. Oh, sorry, webcam time. Now that I want the webcam to show, it's not showing. Okay, so 5, he succeeded. Oh, that's not the point. Alright, so... Because it's an extreme bank turn, I move that full, whoa, I'm not doing this right. You have to move forward half first. So that was 12. I almost cheated and I didn't even mean to. Okay, now he's making the turn. Goes up as 12. There we go. I don't think I got away with it with MiG number 2, but I did definitely outmaneuver MiG number 1.
You most definitely did.
And now he's making another brake turn.
Where'd he go?
It's not great because I'm shooting at a full deflection, but at least this way I can shoot at MiG number 1. MiG number 1 cannot shoot back at me. Now again, MiG number 2 might have other ideas. Hold on a second. Let me build my sad little file here. Alright, and then that was brake turn. Here we go. Copy it. Don't move it so that you don't destroy the original template. Alright. And that's going to give me a bonus against any fire that might be coming my way as well. That's what I should have done last turn, but it cost me one of my planes, so remember how this game actually works. Okay, MiG 29 number 2. Did you declare any special maneuvers?
I want to lie and say yes, but I'll be honest and say no.
Well, I would play the applause button for you, but you know what it is? I got 3 shots lined up here. I haven't had any drinks yet. Hold on. Oh, that's gonna help. Oof, those are deep shots too. Okay, you're moving at 8, or I should say 16, but you always do your movements in half in this game.
Yep.
Oh man, that's still.
So I have to move straight
still
forward
burning.
8, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I did that one a little too fast. Okay. Now, you're extreme, so you can turn up to the first E. The difference between this E and EBT is this is extreme with a break turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, half of this is just to remind myself how this game works.
So please turn me north extreme.
Totally extreme.
I still can't believe they're making another Bill and Ted's movie.
Oh, God.
50-year-old Bill and Ted. I mean, okay.
Well, they're not. Don't tell me they got Keanu Reeves back.
Oh, yeah.
Really? He actually agreed to that?
It's Keanu Reeves and blonde curly-headed boy.
Well, yeah, everyone knows he was going to be back for it. Because, I mean, what else is he doing? But they've wanted to make a Bill and Ted sequel for decades, and what was always stopping it was Keanu Reeves was too good for that. Okay, how about your second turn?
Extreme again, clockwise.
All right. Ooh, now they're both right in front of me. Cool. All right.
You gotta move me forward the rest of my.
I don't think so.
Oh, you did it. Moved it twice. 1, 2. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I should have turned south instead of north. That just dawned on me.
Yep.
Oh well.
1, 2. It's one nice thing. I mean, as much of a pain in the ass as gaming this way is, you do get to quickly just rewind a turn and see, like, make sure you didn't do anything wrong. All right, so I got 2 MiG-29s lined up. Literally, I could almost take them both out with one missile. The way they're lined up is perfect for me.
Sure, go ahead. Give that one a try.
No, it's not how it
We didn't
works.
launch missiles last round, did we?
No, I'm launching missiles this round. Except this time, I'm close enough where I'm launching Sidewinders. Missiles that actually hit. All right, cool. Here comes the Sidewinder. Sidewinder locks on a 3+. Of course, I roll a 2.
Re-roll it.
Nope. The one
You
time
didn't roll it on camera. I don't believe it.
It's right there in front of you, John. I did roll it on camera. All right, that's it for that phase.
You can launch without a lock, though, can't you?
I can launch without a lock. I think I have a -3. I might do that. Launch without a lock is another -3. Target is at low altitude. Target is stalled.
I mean, it's a Sidewinder. Even if you apply that 3, it's now the same base roll as the other one. The other one started at a 5.
All right. So that's y'all's got to remind me. That was launched without a lock, so that's going to be a pretty nasty penalty for me later on. Okay, that is launching at MiG number 2. I'm declaring it now.
Okay.
All right.
Now you are not in my arc, correct?
Yeah, the weapons phase is over. You're not launching anything.
Yeah.
I can help you out with that. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative for my one. Actually, stick to the turn sequence. Do I want to speed up or slow down? Alright. Your move. Oh, wait. Hold on. Back to 12. Did that break turn screw up my speed at all? Speed is reduced by 3 already. Alright, so that changes what I want to do. So when I did that break turn, my speed reduced to 9. When I came out of that break roll. Okay. In that case, I'm going to leave my speed the way it is. How about you?
I'm going to slow down a little.
Okay.
Slow me down to 12.
Okay, I see. You can do it by 4 per impulse or whatever. Technically, this isn't really turn 3. This is turn 2.2. There's like 2 impulses per turn, but you know, it's just easier to count 1, 2, 3. Alright, cool.
Works for me.
Alright, so here comes my initiative. I rolled a 9 for a change.
Alright. Gonna put my dice. They fell. Where are they? 8 and a 5. I'm just gonna get those 2 numbers like tattooed on something apparently.
Awesome. So, yep, you're moving first and second, and I'm moving third.
Okay.
Hey, look, it didn't try to give me a date this time. Alright, so, cool, you're moving first. Mig number 1, did you declare any special maneuvers this time?
Oh, I was gonna do break turns.
Okay, so you have to declare that. You had to have already declared that, so, cool. Break turn, you have to roll a 4+.
4+. Let's see if I succeed. 9.
Okay, so MiG number 1 succeeds with his break turn. That's going to reduce your speed by... well, hold on. It does that after your turn. So, first of all, you move forward 6. Get you centered up. Get you lined up. Okay, your new speed is 12, so we move half of that. There you are. You recentered up now. You can turn either way, all the way to EBT. You're an extreme maneuverability craft, and you did a break turn. So basically 90 degrees, left or right.
Turn me 90 degrees right.
Okay, cool. You move the rest of your 6 inches, and now you get to turn again if you want. Again, you don't have to turn the full 90 degrees.
I know.
Okay.
Turn me 1 click south.
So, low south?
Yep.
Like so? Oops.
Yep.
What the hell just happened? Alright.
Perfect.
Alright, MiG number 2. Try to make your break as well.
4 up. 2.
Okay, hold on a second. That is a fail. So I have
It is a fail.
And I have a break turn. Copy these pieces so we don't... oh, and that was MiG number 2. That's the one I shot the missile at.
No. Oops. We're probably evening out this round.
I certainly hope so, because otherwise it'd be a pretty crappy stream. Okay, a failed break does maneuvers. Makes a normal turn and then turns its normal maneuver rating extreme, but both directions must be used at a full possible amount. Speed is reduced by 5. That wasn't so bad. Speed does not attract the fire bonus. Yeah, pretty much you just don't really make... your turn is not really controlled, and you don't get to make the full turn. If you have to fail a special maneuver, that's not a bad one. I think. Okay, so you move your 6.
Yep.
Now you have to move if you're gonna. Yeah, now you have to turn your full movement, and it has to be only out to E. So you want to turn left or right?
I'll go right.
So you get a success maneuver. You get to choose up to the full. Now you have to take the full. All right. Now the second one has to also be to the right, and also has to be full. Which actually might not be a bad thing. Oops. Try to get the middle of that wheel lined up with your blue dot there. And then that turns there. And your speed is reduced.
That's great for me.
Your speed is reduced by 5. So now it's down to 7. Fulcrum number...
What's my stall speed?
5. We already said that, yeah. Successful
okay.
brake turn is reduced by 3. This, by the way, should say fulcrum number 2. Because I'm a dumbass. Alright.
Alright.
That's what I wanted. How did you know? Alright.
Like big old fail. Just
fail. Epic fail. You are a failure.
You suck.
Okay, I chose an Immelman for mine.
Oh.
5+ because I'm a high-powered aircraft and I have a good pilot. And webcam time. That is a 10. So that was a successful Immelman turn. So successful Immelman, move up to half my distance and then can be turned facing any direction. My speed is reduced by 5.
No, that was a 0.
So before I'm going to do that, I am going to... Okay, I'm good. Speed reduced. I thought I put myself in a stall. Speed is reduced by 5, so my speed is now 7. I'm on the wrong damn turn. Alright, so I'm going to apply speed changes. I'm going to back up just a little bit in the turn sequence if you don't have a problem with that.
Nope.
Increase speed to 11, and now when I reduce my speed by... So basically he puts gas into the throttle, speeds up a little bit, then pulls back on his stick, and launches upwards on his elevators, and then he does the Immelman. So he comes back out of there now doing 6.
Okay.
So up to down 5, his net speed is now a 6. So my beginning speed was a 9. So I move forward 11 and a half. I'm sorry, 11 and a half. God damn it. This is why you don't drink and game at the same time. Four and a half. And I believe I can come out of that facing any direction I want.
That's what it said.
And then can come out facing any direction. So again, for those in the chat who might not be aware, an Immelman is where you pretty much pull back on the stick as hard as you can, you kick your elevators as hard as you can, and you stand your plane up on its engine, and you fire off your afterburners and you head straight up. You continue that until you wind up right on your back, and then as you corkscrew out of that inverted position, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 feet up, depending on whether or not you're doing this in a 1918 biplane or a 1985 F-16, how high you go, but you go up like a certain amount of altitude. And when you kind of come out, when you corkscrew back out of that inverted position, you can kind of do it at just about any facing you want. And the reason you're able to do that is because when you're going up, you're going straight up, you're not heading laterally in any direction, you're heading straight up. You can corkscrew your plane in any direction. So when you complete that maneuver and you end up for a moment inverted on your back, you're pointed in any direction you want. That's if you do it right. And of course in game terms that means did you make your night roll? So that was coming in on your beam. That's going to make a difference when we do missile impacts. So that missile is going to impact, hopefully, this turn. I'm also going to be making a gunnery attack on MiG number 2. I'm sorry, on MiG number 1. I might shoot down 2 planes in one turn. I might make a comeback here, folks.
That would both be cool and suck totally.
Okay, because you're only allowed to fire 1 weapon system per phase, but again, I fired that missile last phase. Okay, so let's do this by the numbers. Fire segment, resolve missiles fired last phase. Okay, that's now. Now here's the problem. That missile's got a lot of problems. Okay, you're going to fire off a not a chaff. You're going to fire off a flare, I'm assuming?
Yes, please.
All right, because your infrared warning went off on your thing, heat-seeking missile. So a little red light goes off in your cockpit. It warns you that you're being tracked by an infrared sensor. You know to fire off a flare. Poof. You go as a flare, you've got 7 more. We're going to run out of planes before we run out of flares, so no worries there. Okay, now, infrared missile fired from target front. No. Infrared missile fire... Oh, pilot skill modifier. We forgot this last time. Pilot skill modifier, that's a -1, because we're all considered good pilots. IR missile fired from front, no. IR missile fired from target beam, yes. -1. So my +1 and my -1 kind of cancel out right there.
Cancel out.
Okay. Launch without a lock, -3. Okay, now I'm up to a 6 or better. You did not do a successful brake turn. Did not do a split S. No. Another -2.
In fact, I failed.
Well, yeah, but you failed at a maneuver that does not attract a fire bonus. So if you'll notice,
okay.
and for people in the chat, some of these attract a fire bonus, attracts a fire bonus, or incoming fire, incoming fire attracts a bonus. These are copy pasted right out of the, here we have no bonus against incoming fire. Brake turn, aircraft makes normal turn. I do not see anything about a fire bonus. So
attract fire bonus.
I don't see that. And again, I copy paste these right out of the rulebook, the PDF. So there's no incoming fire bonus for that. You don't get a bonus, but I don't get a bonus either.
Okay.
So I start off.
You're right. If you're going to fail one, that's a good one.
Let's relatively conservative one. All right. So data.
You started out at a 2 up.
To hit
-1
is a 2
plus
up.
1.
Okay. So ready? 2. +1 -1. Fine. IR missile fired from the beam. We said we already did that one. Fired without a lock, and then you fired a chaff. So I think I have to roll a 7+. Okay.
Yep.
Let me turn on the webcam in advance this time. Come on, big dog, do it. That is a 2. That is another miss. So that's it for that.
Where's the other one?
I only fired 1.
Oh. Okay.
A plane can only fire 1 missile a turn. We were firing 2 before because I had 2. Oh, I'm on the wrong damn turn again.
Planes.
God, that's so annoying. All right.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for? You just dodged a missile.
You didn't blow me up.
You want to be sorry for something? Be sorry I can't select this goddamn missile piece. Anytime you want to stop wasting my time, machine, I would just really, really appreciate it. Stop wasting my time and embarrassing me. Alright, now I have a gunnery attack, except it's a frontal deflection shot, and you did do a successful brake turn. So this might not be so hot.
I'm just too cool for your Top Gun ass.
I never sized that piece, because of course I didn't. Alright, I gotta use the big one. Precise measurement time. I gotta see if I'm within 3 inches or not. Doesn't look like it. Nope, definitely not. Alright, that kind of blows. So my hit number is going to be 5+. I'm looking at the chart here. Hold on. Pilot skill chart. Cool. I get 1 dice for that. I'm not using a short burst, not using a normal burst. I'm going to use a sustained burst. That's going to be plus 3d6. 1 for pilot skill, 2 for sustained burst. Firing from target front. That is going to cost me half my dice. So I'm down to 4. Target performed any successful maneuver. Have it again. I'm down to 2. No, I'm not going to fire. That's just stupid. Even if I do a sustained burst, I go from 8 dice down to 2. Because yes, those 2 half dice columns that we see here, those are cumulative.
Eesh.
Well, it makes sense. You're doing a break turn and you're trying to shoot at somebody who's coming at you at about a combined speed of 1,400 miles an hour. It's still better, even in the age of modern technology, to get behind the enemy before you take a shot at them, especially if you're doing it with guns. If you had failed a maneuver, or if something else had gone wrong, then maybe something else would be possible. Here I'd have to get only 2 dice. I would use up more than half of my ammunition on 1 shot. I would only get 2 dice, and I would have to roll a 5 up on a d6. So I get to roll only 2 d6, and they have to be 5 ups. Any success will be a hit. I mean, if I got stupid lucky, but with over half my ammo, no. We only have 5. Each of us only have 5 units of ammo, by the way. In case these are high firepower guns. High rate of fire guns. This is an M61 Vulcan that fires 6,000 rounds a minute, 100 bullets a second. It doesn't. When you squeeze that trigger, you run out of ammo really fast. So you have to be really careful when you actually fire that ammunition.
Oh, I mean, you can't fire a gun that fast and just stand there for 15 minutes on a screen mowing down a jungle?
No, because you're not Jesse the Body Ventura. Also, that's a 5.56. This is a 20mm version cannon of that. So, not even Jesse the Body can carry that thing. I think it seriously weighs like 4 tons or something like that, the gun. It's absolutely huge. It takes up like the whole front half of the plane. It's gigantic. But it runs out of ammo like that. I'm probably exaggerating.
Well, it needs to learn to slow down and take its time.
Then you'll never hit anything. Because you're trying to hit something half a mile away moving 1,400 miles an hour. The only way you have a prayer is to just fill the sky with bullets and something's going to, So, because I can't think today. Why am I even streaming today? Okay, mover copy, thank you. Turn 4. Cool. Alrighty, let's make sure that we, okay, we have our new speed set up, we're ready to go. Apply speed changes. I'm going to speed up like a big dog because I'm starting to get a little too slow. How about you?
Yeah. I can speed up by 4, right?
You can speed up by 4, yes, because you have a better acceleration than I do.
I would like to speed up by 4 on both planes, please.
In the chat, you blew up one of my MiGs. Is that what you said?
I messed up.
I've been messing up plenty this stream. Don't even worry about it.
Let's go back and go, aren't you the MiGs? And I was like, oh yeah, I blew up an F-16.
Friendly fire. Yeah, I forgot
She would
about...
be very happy if I blew up one of the MiGs.
I forgot about brake turns, because I'm retarded. Okay, move this to the side, move that to the side. No one's in a stall. Cool. Alright, so we've done that. We are going to declare any special maneuvers. I am writing down... I can also write down the word none. Writing down a special maneuver. Cool. Have you declared your special maneuvers? Do you want me to call that card up again?
Nope, I know what I'm doing.
Alright. Cool, let's roll initiative.
Alright, wait, let me roll first.
I got a 3.
Hold on. I got an 8 and a 6.
Alright, so I'm moving last.
I almost want to lie and say 8 and 5.
I rolled the 3, so I have to move first because I stink. Cool. Alright, so now it's me first. Alright, I have to move first. I declared a brake turn. Break turn is 5+ and a high-powered aircraft becomes a 4+ because we're good pilots. 4+.
So I didn't fire any missiles at you.
Do it. I want to turn better. 4.
Okay.
So I succeeded on my break turn.
Yay.
Cool. And that reduces my speed by 3 when I'm done. But for now, I'm still moving at 9. Cool.
Can you speed yourself up?
Yeah, up to 9.
Oh, okay.
That Immelman bled off 5 on my speed.
That's right.
4.5.
Oh, excuse me.
So our planes just passed within like almost the thickness of the dot. So if that line right there, let me center that. If that line coming out of my tail boom there marks my flight path, and that's blue dot marks your plane, we just passed within about 50 feet of each other at about 1,400 miles an hour. So that's 4.5.
Smile for the camera.
Okay, now I make a full turn. 4.5 again.
And now you're buzzing my other plane.
He's coming right at me. He's gonna ram me. My guy's just trying to scare you guys, and they're running away now. Alrighty, and now this is going to again. Cool. Come on, machine. Stop making me regret my life decisions. Alright, both of your planes. Oh, that reduces my speed by 3. So I'm now back down to 6. Alright. Your speed is 13 and 11. So we're going to move MiG number 1 first. I was moving at 13. Did you declare any special maneuvers?
Yes, I did.
Alright, which one was that?
MiG number 1.
Yep.
That's the one on the bottom or the one on the top?
It's the one I'm moving the wheel on now. So, yeah, there you go.
Okay. That one I did a brake turn.
Cool. Roll a 4+ on a D10. Remember to fail it.
Come on.
Fail it, fail it, fail it.
Well, this one made it last time. 7.
Alright, he made it. So that is, he moves forward. He's moving at 13, so that's 16. Life decisions. What exactly are you doing right now, machine? How did this get to the top? Thank you. Alright, 6.5. I'm just going to eyeball that extra half an inch. Poof. Alright, now you move, or now you turn left or right, your full 90 degrees.
I am going to turn left. North.
Alright, there you are. Now you make another turn. I'm assuming to the left.
Yep.
I think what I did is I accidentally copied the wheel last time. That's how the copied version ended up on the top. Okay. While we got the wheel here, because this is going to come up very shortly. I am not in your gun arc. I am, however, in your missile arc. 1, 2, 3,
okay.
4.5 inches away. So some of your missiles can't hit me at this range. Some of them can. For some of your missiles, you're too close. All right, MiG number 2. Make your extreme, or make your brake turn. Oh, I shouldn't say that because both your planes did not have to choose the same maneuver. Did MiG number 2 choose a special maneuver?
Yes, he did.
Okay, which one?
He chose an Immelman.
Okay, he has to make a 5-up. High-powered aircraft.
He's got something to prove. He's got something to prove after failing a brake turn.
I just hope you fail it. Fail it! Fail it!
Oh my God.
Yay! What'd you get?
A 1.
A what?
A 1.
All right, that is a failed Immelman and a dead MiG. Because look at where he's headed. He's pointing right in front of me.
I know.
Yay!
No more special maneuvers for you.
No more special maneuvers. I've invented a maneuver.
No maneuvers. Helga, I've invented a maneuver.
Was that Eddie Izzard inventing the Heimlich maneuver?
The Heimlich maneuver. Yep.
What is it, Dr. Heimlich? I'm your wife. Stop being so Russian.
I'm your husband. Where you go?
Okay, what is it, Gunther? I've invented a maneuver. A maneuver? What are you, a bloody tank commander now? Alright, your speed is 11. Which means you moved 5.5 forward, and I think you end up in a weird position. So 5.5, poof. There you go. Back to maneuvers. Immelman, failure moves exactly half of his movement. Is turned to face a random direction. Speed reduced by 6. Attracts an incoming fire bonus.
I know.
Epic, epic. Dude, I finally get to
Once
do
again,
something in my own stupid game.
I was being honest.
Well, I'm not being honest.
I should have lied and said, no, I said, I should have lied and said, brake turn, yeah, brake turn.
Well, then I never play with you again, and everyone in the stream knows that you cheat. So, no, don't ever cheat. Okay. So that was exactly half. Turn on Mr. Webcam here and roll a handy dandy D12, and that's the clock ray that you're pointing towards. Number 2, you're pointing at 2 o'clock. Sweet. Too bad I have no missiles in the air. But I do have guns. Guns. And I am in... Hold on. Don't tell me that you're... Now, you're a little too far away for a really good gunshot. But... Hold on a second. I'm just noticing something in the chat.
What?
Did Gianna cheer for shooting down one of the F-16s? Or was she still thinking...
No, she cheered when I said shot down one of the MiGs.
Gotcha.
It actually says MiG, and she went awesome. And then Skobek went, aren't you the MiGs? And that's when I went, oh, yeah. So she just didn't correct her cheer.
I'm not in gun arc.
Oh, no!
No, there it is. The blue dot, just outside of the gun arc. Speaking of being honest, in fact, even that's a little generous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Line up the turning wheel precisely. Come on, machine. Yeah, with the radio antenna on the front, and then the little elevator on the back of the plane. Or the rudder, I should say, on the back of the plane. Exactly. That's why the turning wheel has this little tail on the back of it, so it makes it easier to line up with the plane piece.
Yeah, to make sure it's lined up.
And yeah, your blue dot right there actually marks the actual location of your plane. Again, each one of these grid squares is about half a mile, so obviously the planes aren't nearly this big. These aren't flying Star Destroyers. That blue dot, yeah, is outside of the gun arc, so he can't quite get on. Now, I could have gotten that if I had won initiative, but I did not win initiative. Cool.
Or if I turned in a different direction, I think.
No, you go forward straight,
no,
and then
the
you
blue
wind up
dot
in a weird direction.
Yeah.
That's okay, I can fire a missile at this range.
You can.
That sounds pretty awesome. Alright, cool. So, lock with my missile. I need a 3+. And I get a 1. Because this game hates me. That was a 1.
Re-roll the 1.
Nope.
I declare we re-roll 1s.
I declare that you're full of shit. Alright, MiG-29 number 1. Are you going to fire a AA-11 at me?
Whichever one I can do with this closer range.
That is an AA-11 with a minimum range of 4. There you go. You need a lock of 3+.
3+. Let's see. I rolled a 2.
Are you serious?
I'm looking at it.
All right.
For a second, I thought it was a 7, but it's a 2.
You're not feeling sorry for me?
I am not feeling sorry for you. I'd rather blow you out of the sky and end the game early.
I would also like that at this point.
It was a 2.
Okay, for some reason our pilots can't log missiles on each other. Oh boy, lots of fun and just going through blunt maneuvers. That's okay. The game ends on turn 6.
You know what? I was gonna say, can I launch without a lock?
Oh yes. Yes, you can. It will have a pretty bad penalty to hit me because it's going to be hitting me from the front. It's going to be an IR missile. I'm going to fire chaff, and you're going to get a penalty for firing without a lock, but it is technically possible.
Screw it. Another Russia's foot in the bill.
I'm already putting the missile on the board. There must be a lag between what you see and what I see. Cool. All right, missile
My pilot's
away.
like, what do you mean I don't get a lock? Fucking fire!
Alrighty. Okay, so the guy that did the Immelman loses 6 in speed, right? We said
5.
it was 5 for a failed maneuver.
Was it 5 or was it 6?
Immelman? I'm looking. Speed reduced by 6 for a failure.
Okay.
So he is now doing 5. He's at his stall speed.
Ooh.
He's going extra slow.
And MiG-1 had to lose 3 for his brake turn.
This is true. Okay. Alright, so now we're on turn 5. I'm going to go ahead and reaccelerate by 3. Fulcrum 1, any speed changes?
Yes, Fulcrum 1 will accelerate by 2. And Fulcrum 2 will accelerate by the full 4.
Okay, declaring any special maneuvers. You want me to pull up that card again?
Give me one quick peek, please.
Alright.
Okay. Yep, ready.
Because we are on camera, we can't have like a blank screen just showing for like 30 seconds.
Nope,
Okay. So, initiative time. Turn on
Initiative.
Mr. Webcam
I
this time,
rolled
so I don't screw up again.
I rolled an 8 and a 5 again.
You need new dice. Alright, here we go. Here comes a 9 or a 10.
Or I need to play those numbers on the lottery.
I got 8. Alright, cool. So that 8, roll again for a tiebreaker.
6.
Can I beat a 6? 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 Please, can I beat a 6? I got a 6. Okay, roll the 6 again. We've now a double tiebreaker. What'd you get?
Ah, lost the dice.
Come on.
I got a 7.
I can beat a 7. I got a 1. I did not beat it. Alright, so you win initiative on your MiG number 1. So MiG number 1 goes 3rd. I go 2nd. MiG number 2 goes 1st. So MiG number 2 go 1st. Did you declare any special maneuvers?
MiG number 2, my God, it's been failing special maneuvers the whole fucking game.
Yep.
No, he did not clear any special maneuver.
Alright, so he moves half his movement forward. What is his movement right? What is his speed right now?
He's going 9.
Alright, so he's going to go forward 4.5.
Yep.
If I can ever get this stupid wheel lined up. You know, on a real tabletop game, there's no way it's this precise, but Hey, if we're going to use a computer, you might as well be precise. Okay, 4.5. Poof. Okay, you can move to the regular E. You want to go left or right?
I will go left.
You spent this entire game in one gigantic left turn. It's NASCAR. All we do is make left turns all day. Okay. There's your other 4.5 inches of movement, and any more turns out to the E?
Yes, please.
Okay, which way?
Left.
All right.
Might as well keep the NASCAR effect going.
Okay, F-16 number 1 declared a brake turn.
Okay.
And I failed it. It's like my second or third 1 in a row. 1-1 in, I think it was a 2 and then 2 1s.
Well, as you said last round, if you're going to fail a maneuver, that's the one to fail.
My speed is not, my current velocity is 9, so I move forward 4.5. I have to turn only to the regular E, but it has to be the whole way. I have limited control over the turn now because I epic failed it. See, right here I would have a gunshot, perfect. But of course, I just get to do the work. I don't get to actually have fun, you know, playing the game. No, I'm just crying because I can't place. Ignore me. Oh, it's actually not as bad as I thought. Here I am complaining. Let me be honest. There we go. I think I do have gun arc on that guy. Even with the failed maneuver. Do I? With a precise measurement? Yes, I do. I'm just too far away. I can't win. Up to 9 inches. I am in range. It's just a terrible chance to hit. Okay.
Well, can you speed up before you do the maneuver?
No. Number 1, I should have already declared that. In fact, quite the opposite. I've just lost some speed. I've lost more than I meant to.
Well, since we are just getting the hang of this and your dice have been screwing you, I would let you speed up marginally.
Speaking of which, yeah, so whatever. I'm just, in fact, I'm now in a stall. Alright.
No.
Yes, I'm in a stall, Jen. I just lost 5 points of movement. The rules are right there. Alright, move MiG number 1, please. Did you declare any special maneuvers?
No. Okay.
Yeah, the F-16 totally did just stall us. Go back, yeah. Alright, what's your speed now? 13?
Yeah, I believe
12.
13 or 12. 12.
Right, so you move forward 6.
Go forward 6.
Yep.
And then to the E.
Yep, which way?
The E south. And then E left again.
Wait a minute, what the hell am I doing? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How many times do I have to hit Control Z to get to what I want to do? I don't even know what application I'm in right now. Alright, there's my movement. Next. 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 Any day, Excel. What are we doing, Excel? Where did that piece go, Excel? What the shit literally just happened? Hold on a second, guys. I gotta screw up a computer here. Why did it vanish? What the... You know what? I don't even care anymore. Let's do this whole thing over again. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Here we go again. Out to 6. E. This must be riveting for our audience, watching me screw up in Excel. This must be just absolutely fucking fantastic for all of our subscribers. I can't imagine how entertaining it must be right now. I'm so glad I spent all friggin' weekend getting this thing ready, just so I could fail here on camera. This is just absolutely wonderful. And no, I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the stream.
It definitely seems like Excel is lagging.
It's not lag. Well, you know, maybe I'll buy a plane ticket and just like fly to Germany or Shanghai or Ireland or everywhere else everybody plays. Maybe I'll do that. Because that's a much more practical solution to this. Alright, now that's both turns, right? No, that's both legs of movement.
Yep. And then you've got it, the last E facing.
Yep. Okay, cool.
So that puts me in launching arc.
This is your short-range missile that you fired at me, correct?
Yeah. Without a lock.
All right. Please, for the love of God, make this roll. So you start off on a 3+, goes down to a 2+, goes back up to a 3+ because you fired from target beam. Does no one remember that? No one remembers that. I have to look it up. Yes, it's from target beam.
Yeah,
cool.
It was +1, -1.
Because I just looked it up. So +1, -1, we're back to 0. Not within minimum range, without a lock, so it's up to now to 6.
Yep.
I'm firing off a chaff because it would be cheesy if I didn't. 8+. 6 + 2 is 8.
8+. I rolled a 7.
Oh, you hit. Because I'm also in a stall.
Does that, I thought if you messed up a brake turn, it didn't draw fire.
No, I'm in a stall. I'm below my stall speed. Target is stalled or target failed maneuver where fire bonus is indicated. +1 is a 7. Boom, you hit. Congratulations. Roll 1d6 for damage. Please roll high.
4.
4. That's enough. Because I'm now considered crippled. Because I'm now over half damage. These planes only have 6 points of damage each. Which I find a little weird. I think a MiG-29 with its bigger bulk would have more than 6, but that's what the game wrote, so I'm sticking with that. Doesn't matter. A MiG-29 is not what was hit. It was an F-16 that was hit. F-16s are very small planes, half built out of graphite instead of metal. So yeah, they're going to come apart like paper mache when hit. So that's 4 out of 6. I'm already now crippled and I'm stalled. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and call it there. Because I'm now crippled, I'm out of my good missiles, and I'm in a stall, and I've just been hit by a missile. So, cool. Congratulations to Jen. That was a good win. Thanks very much for taking time out of your day to play with me today. And
No.
I think that's going to be it. I'm going to go ahead and call it for today.
Okay, you don't want to do gunfire on my last guy?
I can't. I'm in a stall. You're not allowed to fire when you're in a stall.
Oh.
You're not.
I'm sorry.
It's cheesy. Yeah, and the rules specifically state you can't fire while in a stall. In fact, to make it 100%. Yeah, because after that failed brake turn, I forgot to increase my speed. You already let me get away with that once. I'm not going to do it again. I forgot to. Well, I did increase speed. It didn't matter. I couldn't increase speed enough, and then failed. These F-16s aren't that great. At least when I'm flying them, because I basically came on too slow, and I did not keep up my energy. I did not keep up my potential energy. I let my speed drop too fast, and then relied too much on special maneuvers, and then roll a couple 2s and 1s in a row because
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I was not that good. Your dice fucked you today. That's there's no other way to say it.
But you're not allowed to fire
failed
weapons.
rolls that you shouldn't have.
Continuing the sentence, you're not allowed to fire weapons while in a stall, so I cannot fire a missile even though I'm in perfect position. I can't fire missiles or guns at you because I'm in a stall, plus I've just been hit and I'm crippled and I'm now by myself. My maximum speed is now halved. I have a negative to all my gun attacks. All my missiles are screwed up. We're not even going to roll on the additional damage or golden BB table. Yeah, the plane may have just blown up anyway. But I think that we have embarrassed ourselves enough for one day, or at least I have. So I'm going to go ahead and call the stream there, guys. Thanks very much for coming out. Yeah, I guess we'll see what's coming up in the week ahead. All right, everybody. Talk to you later.
Are you looking to become a Tier 1 operator in the gaming world? Elevate your games with Black Site Studio Terrain.